Welcome back to the show. Oh, check out these headlines. Why Ripple launched their own stablecoin? We have an answer you probably haven't thought of yet. And a triple black swan event, says the CFTC. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.14 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off by 1.1%. We see 59,500 plus for Bitcoin right now, 2,200 plus for Ethereum, 118 billion plus market cap for Tether, 35 billion plus market cap for USDC. XRP in number 7 spot, 56 cents. We're off by 3.8 on the 24, but we're up 7.6 on the 7-day. Now, with that being said, look at the range of price. We hit 60 cents over the early morning hours. We're at 57.50 right now. We're close to the bottom range of that price. We will keep an eye on it, but XRP is moving a little today. We will see where it goes from here. Now, this is Ed Crypto putting a gold chart. Now, this is interesting because gold has been hitting new highs. And guess what else? Ed Crypto says the Fibonacci level 1.618 target has been completed, indicating potential for further gains. Looking ahead, the next target by year end could be $2,700 to $3,000 per ounce for gold. And we're already in the new all-time high category. So this is something to pay attention to. And obviously, you guys know I have made it easy for you to get the best prices on all precious metals at Miles Franklin Precious Metals Invest. All you need to do, send an email, info@milesfranklin.com. And then in the subject box, put dig gold. DIG gold. That's all you need to do, and ask them for the special price list, because that's what you're going to be getting, and the best customer service you've ever come in contact with in the precious metal business. No question. Click the link below. Get started today. Let's take a look at this. Crypto lobbyists are spending $800,000 per day in TV ads to unseat Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown, who just will be connected to the hip of Elizabeth Warren. I'm calling out to all crypto leaders. Listen, whether you're Tim Draper, Michael Saylor, what are you guys doing? We need to get Senator Sherrod Brown out of Ohio. Let me tell you something else. We need your support for John Deaton in Massachusetts. We can literally change the game in the Senate all the way around by eliminating Senator Sherrod Brown and Elizabeth Warren. These are the anti-crypto generals of the Senate. They gotta go. They got to go. Let's all please start politely tagging and professionally tagging with lots of etiquette. Please asking the Tim Drapers and the Michael Saylors and everyone else, just like the Winklevoss brothers have, donated to John Deaton's campaign. Let's push all of them to see if they will put their money where their mouth is. Meanwhile, this is bullish. Cointelegraph puts this out. US ETFs bought 3,096 Bitcoin worth $186.8 million yesterday. Okay. There we go. The total Bitcoin holdings of US ETFs collectively, since the ETF spots have been launched, is 291,442 Bitcoin. I'd say it's pretty high demand. Not to mention the fact that we know that BRICS coalition and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Monday that BRICS alternative payment platform to the dollar and euro are gaining interest from more countries. Look, there's up to 159 that are interested in learning more and considering joining BRICS. We know 35 to 40 countries have already formally taken that step to join BRICS. So it is challenging the size and nature of the G7 at this point. And that is something the world cannot continue to ignore. Meanwhile, one of those BRICS coalition partners, remember, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus multiple other nations, but those are the real original members. So with the BRICS coalition growing, look how one of them, India's prime minister, is coming to meet with the former president of the United States. Take a listen.
He happens to be coming to meet me next week. And Modi, he's fantastic. I mean, fantastic man. A lot of these leaders are fantastic. You have to understand one thing. They're 100%. These people are the sharpest people. They're not a little bit backward. They are at the top. You know the expression, they're at the top of their game, and they use it against us. But India is very tough. Brazil is very tough. There are certain countries, I can tell you every one. I can give you from top to bottom. China's the toughest of all, but we were taking care of China with the tariffs. So we're going to do a reciprocal trade. If anybody charges us 10 cents, if they charge us $2, if they charge us 100%, 250, we charge them the same thing. And you know what's going to happen? Everything's going to disappear, and we're going to end up having free trade again. And if it doesn't disappear, we're going to take in a lot of money. Okay?
There you go. That's business. That's business. Now, look, in order to have all of this free trade, in order to have all this digital economy, we're going to need stable coins. You're about to be so bullish on understanding just how close we are to this entire digital asset space, never looking the same again because it's taking its way to mass adoption. Revolut to launch its crypto stablecoin, but hang in there. Fireblocks, digital asset infrastructure, and Chainlink will provide an end-to-end technology solution for financial institutions looking to issue, transact, regulated stablecoins, setting a new industry standard for stablecoin issuance. Oh, I'm not done. Now we find out Robinhood Crypto has hinted to the general manager of Robinhood Crypto potential development of a company-branded stablecoin. Oh boy, I'm about to run this up the flagpole. BitGo says it's launching a stablecoin January of 2025, and it will be called USDS. This stablecoin will provide rewards to the institutions which power its liquidity. Oh yeah. Circle says their USDC is now available in Brazil and Mexico through their local real-time payment system. Brazilian reals and Mexican pesos can be converted into USDC by bypassing the need for US dollars. Now, before I play this clip, which explains the power of stablecoins on a value protocol, I remind everybody that Ripple is days or weeks at most away from launching the real USD on the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network to begin with. Now, what's interesting, seeing all of these different companies take positions to begin to launch their independent stablecoins backs up what I have said in conversations on this channel and the fireside chat I had with the Honorable Cristian Carlo at XRP Las Vegas 24. And that is, we are seeing the private issuance of stablecoins go up, which means they're going to act as a bulkhead to soak up the hyperinflated paper dollars, because they will be the ones responsible to custody those paper dollars to ensure that the digital dollar in your digital wallet on your phone is worth an actual dollar by carrying a 1-to-1 or a surplus. This is starting to prove out that we were right about how they're going to do this. The private issuance of stablecoins will act as a bulkhead to soak up the hyperinflated paper dollars and bonds that are about to come back home. But what is the interest? What does it mean when we're looking at the idea and understanding the power of a stablecoin on a value protocol? Well, listen to what Charles Hoskinson says, because I think you're going to learn why Ripple chose to launch their own stablecoin on their network. Not to say that they won't be interoperable with others, because I believe that they certainly will. But I believe it's certainly going to give credence to why they decided to launch their own version.
Problem with it. However, it is important to understand that when a stablecoin comes into your ecosystem, the stablecoin, if it gets too much economic activity, ends up having a great degree of power over the ecosystem, because you can't clone a stablecoin. You can't have coin A and coin B. They're backed 1-to-1. So if you ever fork and there's the debate of which chain is correct in the system, the stablecoin actually gets to decide that. Currently, 71% of all economic activity in Ethereum is either Tether or Circle. So if Tether and Circle get together, they effectively get to decide which fork of Ethereum is the real one. So it's really
And that's pretty powerful, right? Because they could decide to stay on the original one or run to the fork. And then because they're the heavier side of the transactions that exist on the ledger, they can determine which one's valid and which one isn't. And that may be a strategic reason amongst many other reasons why Ripple decided to launch their own stablecoin as well. That way, they can't have other stablecoins become in such demand that it would end up being like a form of control over that protocol. Well done. Well done. And obviously, Ripple is launching their stablecoin within days, if not weeks at most here. So this is getting super exciting as we're closing in on the end of Q3, which is where we're about to see the launch of the real USD. You know what I'm interested in? I am so super excited to find out how it starts out with market cap. How many institutions will take a deep position in Ripple's real USD to really provide a depth of market for that stable coin on day one? That is going to be exciting to watch take place. And we're not far from it. Not to mention the fact this is Navadi talking about their special relationship with companies like Ripple and Visa.
Alipay, WeChat Pay, China Union Pay, Ripple, Stellar, Visa, MasterCard, many global companies. So by having the licenses, the partnerships and technology, we can build a sustainable competitive advantage.
No question about it. And when I see the launching and the potential launch of all of these stablecoins, as I've mentioned, to go along with the ones that are already in the market, we are calling this market and seeing it in the right way because they are proving to us that they are going to allow non-bank institutions to be able to release and have issuance of private stablecoins. This is going to be remarkable. No question about it. I'm super excited. We're days away, essentially. Now, let's talk about all these stable coins. Just like CBDCs, what are these stable coins? Well, just like the stablecoin bill, we're talking about it like pegged to fiat, 1-to-1. But a stable coin can also represent a barrel of oil. A stable coin can also represent an ounce of gold, so on and so on and so on. It can also be used as a vehicle to help settle derivatives. Now, I want you to listen to this clip right here. This is Caroline Pham from the CFTC. This is remarkable.
There are plenty of regulators around the world that supervise and monitor the activities of financial institutions, particularly.
And by the way, very quickly, I think I lost my train of thought for a second. I just want to quickly say that the reason I'm showing this backed up to the stable coins is because these things can be stable coin vehicles for commodities as well, and settlement and derivatives. And when you introduce those tokens, those assets that allow for these new digital economy protocols to begin to operate and work, because you need these tokenized vehicles traveling back and forth in order to have something to settle it all, right? So it stops being a speculative market and turns into a utility market, and eventually it's just the traditional markets tokenized. That's what we're talking about. Keep listening.
Really global systemically important banks, for example, and FSOC has a great role in particular around that.
FSOC,
but for the CFTC, uniquely speaking, even though we have a global jurisdiction that's probably only second, maybe, to the Department of Justice when we think about our enforcement authority over fraud, abuse, or manipulation in any market where it can enter the stream of commerce. So that's the global commodity markets, for example. But we also directly oversee pretty much, I think, all of the GSIBs who are registered with us, both U.S. and non-U.S. as swap dealers, and also what's known as systemically important financial market utilities. That includes clearinghouses for the most part. So we have been, and we still are, the primary regulator of the largest clearinghouses in the world. And so we're a clearinghouse to fail. That would have a cascading effect that would be like a triple black swan event for the financial system. And that's why one of the key aspects of the Dodd-Frank regulatory reforms and the G20 derivatives regulatory reforms was to ensure the resiliency of clearinghouses and to ensure that there was robust oversight. That's primarily done through, there's so many acronyms, the Committee for Payment and Markets Infrastructure, together with the International Organization of Securities Commission, and that CPMI is in itself a subset of the Bank for International Settlements, but there's the principles
for which Ripple is a part of. You know, look, all of this is telling us exactly where we're going here, ladies and gentlemen. And let's understand this. Codius offers trigger mechanism which allows seamless integration into derivatives market. Now, we haven't heard a lot about Codius since the early days of Ripple, but give Mr. Mann a follow for this, because I believe there is a possibility that Codius could rise up and prove to be this asset, this part of technology that proves to be a crucial, critical point in helping to settle these derivatives markets along with stablecoin instruments.
So like the Codius platform would allow you to write a program, and it'll make it easy for people to verify the program works, that would say, if these 5 things happen, then this person gets paid. If these other 3 things happen, this other person gets paid. So we could just, for example, you could think about some sort of complex financial derivative. We could take as an input the Bloomberg feed of stock prices, and we could make very complex bets about, well, if this stock goes up and this stock goes down and this other thing happens and the National Weather Service says it's sunny today, then this person gets paid. And if these other things happen, someone else gets paid. So that's going to really reduce the barriers to entry for creating financial derivative products, and it's going to allow more people to hedge more complicated situations where there's not enough people right now to make the market worthwhile to create the asset and have it verified.
So we have to ask ourselves, when we get closer to this conversation of using digital assets for settlement, are we going to see Codius brought out of the closet, up from the ashes, and used in this process? It's going to be interesting to see. But here, I have to play you this. This is just a few seconds, and I played it on this channel before, but I got it queued up right here. Let me get this right here. And let's take a listen to this. This is Caroline Pham again, and she's going to tell you what the real conversations are like and what the real concern is about a triple black swan event, what the real concern is about the power of this Web3 technology, distributed ledger technology, and blockchain in general, and digital assets. Take a listen. She's going to say it. This clip here.
And so this is really, I think, things that people are thinking about, and it's things that people are concerned about. And I think there are also concerns about what does it mean, again, from a geopolitical perspective, if should another currency arise as the world's reserve currency, or if there's a non-state currency, so to speak, that becomes a world's reserve. That's another thing that I think people are very concerned about.
Yeah, I think they're concerned about it too. Because the reality is, it's just as Tom Emmer says right here, when it comes to decentralization, the government is scared, and certainly the left side of the aisle, because they're the ones that have been suppressing this for years. And the reason that they are scared to death is because it restores what this country was built on, which is by the people from the ground up. And he's got it spot on.
They are scared to death. And this is where the Elizabeth Warren attitude comes from, of decentralization, because you know what it changes? It restores what this country was built on, which is by the people from the ground up.
There you go. And that is where the fight is coming from. And that's why I asked so many people so many times, and I'm going to continue to ask until he becomes the senator of Massachusetts. Please go to johndeatonforsenate.com. Donate whatever you can. It is absolutely mission critical to put that man in the Senate seat in Massachusetts for the country as well as the state itself. That's going to do it for me, not financial advice from me or anyone else. I really hope you could donate. I really do. We need that man in the Senate. He can change things, and there aren't many that will do that, but I believe in him, and I know you do too, because of what he's done for all of us without asking for a thing. Now we need to give. We don't even need him to ask. I'm asking for you, for him. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.